Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am making protein sparing modified fasting lemon angel food cake, and I'm making it with a recipe from Maria Emmerich, The Art of Fat Loss, page 82 in her book. I'm starting my recipe with 12 egg whites, and I've already separated my eggs. I have my yolks in the refrigerator. I will use those to make some egg muffins for breakfast tomorrow, or either some creamy eggs, just for breakfast. Add those yolks in with my egg whites. So I'm getting ready to go ahead and start my egg whites to beating, and I'm going to let my egg whites beat for about at least 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. I'll check them along the way to see if they're forming stiff peaks, and then that will determine how much longer I will let those egg whites beat. So I'm starting off on low, and then I'm just going to go ahead and speed it up. I'm going to go ahead and put on my shield so nothing will fly out or anything like that. So these egg whites are going to be beating for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add my dry ingredients together, and what I did was added in a cup of egg white protein powder and a cup of allulose. I used allulose and swerve together because I didn't have quite a cup of the allulose. So I'm going to see how this comes out, since it's the first time I have combined those two sweeteners together. This is lemon juice from a lemon, and I'm putting this into the dry ingredients. You want to incorporate your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients, and you want to mix it up really, really well. If you have any clumps or lumps that you can't get out, use your hands to get clumps out, because you want to make sure that you don't have any liquid when you add this to your egg whites. If you have too much liquid, then your egg whites will not form stiff peaks. I'm going to go ahead also and add in my lemon extract, and I'm adding in quite a bit. I'm going to add in like 2 teaspoons right now. But I want to get a lot of the lemon flavor in there because I love lemon, so I want to make sure that I get a lot of lemony taste in my cake. I think that, making this protein sparing modified fasting lemon angel food cake is going to help me a whole lot, because eating this, it's going to be less than a carb. And also I'm going to make some buttercream frosting for this, and that is going to have basically no calories or no carbs also. So this is going to be a really good treat and a tool to help me on my weight loss journey when I have a craving for something sweet. So like I said, I'm just mixing these ingredients together really, really well, and I do have couple of clumps in here, and I want to make sure that I get these out really, really good. So you're going to see me stirring this quite a bit. But also, like I said, use your hands if you have to, get those hands dirty. Dig down in there if you got a clump, and then just make sure that you get it out and get it well incorporated. Now I'm adding my cream of tartar to my egg whites. I don't like to add it in with the dry ingredients. I prefer to add it in to the egg whites. It seems to work better for me as far as making my egg whites form stiffer peaks. What I'm doing now is I'm scraping the sides of my blending bowl just to make sure that everything is incorporating in there really good. My tartar sauce, my cream of tartar, tartar sauce, okay, my cream of tartar and everything, and just making sure nothing is sticking to the sides of the pan. After I get my egg whites as stiff as I want them to, see it's already pretty stiff and it's already forming peaks, but after I get them as stiff as I want them to be, Then I will go ahead and add in my dry ingredients to my egg white mixture. So I'm going to go ahead and let this beat for just a couple of more minutes. And I'm still, just making sure that everything in here is well incorporated. Anything that was wet, I'm going to make sure that it's mixed in really, really good. I found some yellow food coloring over on my spice rack. So I'm going to put a couple of drops of this yellow food coloring in my dry ingredients also. And then I'm going to make sure I mix that in really, really well, because I want it to be incorporated into the mix. I don't want it to, mess it up, because it is a liquid also. So just make sure whatever liquids that you use, you want to make sure that it's incorporated well into your dry ingredients, so it'll be a crumbly mix. Not a liquidy mix, but a crumbly mix. So I'm going to use my hands here. I just want to make sure that that's broken up really, really well. Like I said, you want to make sure that you get all the clumps that you can as you are mixing your dry ingredients. Okay, that looks to be mixed very well. Once you get your ingredients mixed together really, really well, you can go ahead and add it into your egg whites. When you add it in, I usually just try to put it in there, so that I can mix it really, really good in there with everything. I'm going to go ahead and spray my pans now. And I'm just using a glass pan. And I'm using the avocado oil spray. Okay, now I'm getting ready to add in my dry ingredients to my egg whites. They are really, really stiff, so that's going to work really good. Okay, and I just added in around the edge just to make sure it's going to mix in really, really well. And if you can get it toward the center, that's good, closer to where it's going to mix up. But just put it in, because along the way you're going to check it to make sure that it is mixing well. I'm going to add my sugar back on, and then I started up slowly because I don't want everything, a lot of dust to fly out of the mixing bowl. So if you start it slow and then speed it up, you really won't have that problem. At least not a lot of it. So I'm going to let this fold into the eggs. And you don't want to mix it too long. You just want to get it where it's incorporated into the egg whites really good. Okay, so I see that it's starting to mix in there really well, and what I like to do is just go around the sides and the bottom of the bowl to make sure that everything is mixing really well together. Okay. Alright, I'm going to start this back up for just a few minutes so that I can make sure that this is mixed really good. Now, I've already got my pan sprayed, so after it's mixed together really well, then I'm going to go ahead and get ready to put it into my glass pan. And as you're putting it into your pan or whatever, pan that you're making your cake in, you want to make sure that you put the batter into the dish in a way that you are mashing out air bubbles. You want to make sure that you don't have any air bubbles left when you're putting it in the dish, because if you do, you'll get kind of a warped after you bake your bread or your cake or whatever. It'll be, it'll be kind of ill-shaped, but it's still edible and still very, very good. So I was checking to make sure that everything is mixed together well here, and then also I'm going to taste it. It tastes really good. So here I have it in the baking dish, and I'm going to put this in the oven and let it cook on 325 for about 25 to 30 minutes, and then I'm going to check it to see if I need to let it cook any longer than that. But like I said, when you put it in the dish, just make sure that you get out all of your air bubbles that you can see in the dish, or you can see as you're putting your batter in the pan. Here I'm getting ready to make my buttercream frosting. I am using vanilla flavoring. I'm using some lemon extract, cream cheese, and melted butter, and some Swerve. And what I'm doing, I'm getting ready to cut up some cream cheese. You can use the whole block, is what I ended up doing anyway, but I started with just cutting some of the cream cheese off. But in this keto buttercream frosting, you're going to have cream cheese, you're going to have Swerve, you're going to have melted butter, and then you're going to add in your flavorings. I added in a little bit of vanilla, and then as much of my lemon extract that I had left. I didn't have that much left after I started cooking. But what I've just finished doing is melting the butter and the cream cheese together. I'm going to go ahead and add in my vanilla flavoring now. I'm going to add in my lemon extract and what other, things that you have in to make your cream frosting more flavorful. You see I added in some extra lemon extract, and I'm going to go ahead and add in some Swerve. Now don't ask me how much, because I'm not a person who measures a lot when I'm cooking. I just do it by looking at what I feel I want in my recipe and then tasting. So I'm not a person who measures a lot. I do follow a recipe sometimes, so it just depends on what mood I'm in. Here I'm going to go ahead and mix up all those ingredients together. Now if you use a hand mixer when you are making your buttercream frosting, it will be a lot more fluffier. But I just wanted to have like a glaze, a lemon type glaze over the top of my cake, just to give it more flavor, and basically to see how it was going to come out. This is my first time making a lemon angel food cake. My strawberry angel food cake came out great. That frosting tastes great. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more lemon in there. Like I said, I love the lemon taste, so I don't have that much of this left. I might as well go ahead and put it all. So I ended up making some more buttercream frosting after I got through to put on the cake, and it was so good. Okay, you see I'm mixing these ingredients together really good again. Add a little bit more Swerve. I can taste the lemon, and a little bit more Swerve to get a little bit more of a sweeter taste, instead of so much of the cream cheese taste. Now the sweetness, that will be up to you, how much of the Swerve that you put in to your buttercream frosting. I'm going to go ahead and finish mixing all this up here really good. And then I'm going to check the cake. Okay, let me mix this up just a little bit more. You can see how it looks. Like I said, if you want it to be fluffier, then just use a hand mixer. Okay, here's the cake. You can see how good it looks. It smells delicious. It smells so lemony. And see how it baked on the bottom, so I know it's not burnt or anything. I'm gonna give it I call it the press test. See if it's springy. It does. It springs back when you touch it. So the cake is ready. I'm gonna get ready to loosen it up in the pan and go ahead and put the glaze or the buttercream frosting on the cake. Let me see if I can get a good picture of the cake and frosting for you here. Okay. Okay, let me get this set back up. Okay, now I'm getting ready to go ahead and loosen the cake out of the pan. You have to excuse my camera skills. Okay, there's the cake again and the frosting. Let me get a knife. So it's cool enough to go ahead and frost. I want to make sure it's cool enough so that the frosting will also stay on the cake.